Hey everyone, it's Brian, your handy dandy realtor, financial advisor, estate specialist here in the city of Windsor. I wanted to do a video to prepare you for the future. I have some concern about the real estate market in general, not necessarily in Windsor, but in general. Have some concerns about it in that interest rates are now 4.39%, 4.29%, somewhere around in there. My concern is that as mortgages renew, that's the next round of inflation for every Windsor family. Now, when times were really good, I worked extra hard and I paid my house off. So I don't have those interest rates that I have to be concerned about. I have the equity in my house. I have an open line of credit as well too, so that if I ever wanted to tap some of that equity for any reason, I can just go ahead and write the check and tap that equity. I'm only 55 and I've got that process done. So as I age, that's one less thing that I have to worry about. However, what concerns me is that most Canadians are walking around with a 2.24% mortgage now. Because rates were so cheap, they took mortgage life insurance as well too. They said, sure, add it all on, who cares? 76% of people who buy a house in Canada take the bank's crappy mortgage insurance product. They're spending massive amounts of money on that every month, and they've never sat down and said, why? Are there any other choices? And there's lots of good other choices. We'll talk about that in some other videos. But what my concern is that if the average house is $400,000 and the interest rate on renewal goes from 2.24 to 4.29, the difference in payment on that house on renewal is about $250 a month, roughly $250 to $350 a month. So the average Canadian family has another inflationary factor coming at them very, very rapidly. The average Windsor investor has a train wreck coming very, very quickly. When they bought their house at 2.24% interest, and they're charging X number of dollars for rent, say $1,900 in rent, that house is cash flow positive. But when the mortgage rate goes up 3, 4, 5 years from now to 4.4% or higher, because it'll be higher than what it is right now, then the concern is that that house is no longer cash flow positive. Or the concern for the investor, or the other side of that equation is for the family, how do they afford to come up with $250 or $350 more a month just to be able to keep their house? It becomes a massive problem, as you can see. I believe that right now, you must be looking at ways to be able to pay your house down fast enough to be able to get it to a point where the rise in interest rate is not going to make a difference in your life. So what I mean by that is, like, if you have a $400,000 house, if your house, if you, in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years before renewal, if you worked extra hard, if you really addressed the concept of paying that house down, if you got the house down to $320,000 on renewal, then that would still be the same $1,750 per month payment. So if you have a $400,000 mortgage, you have to come up with, before renewal, you have to come up with another $80,000 of paying that thing down. You have to be able to figure out ways, okay, how am I going to keep this house when these interest rates go up on my renewal? What am I going to be doing now? What am I doing now to prepare for where I'm going to be 4 years from now? And we must look at ways to be able to start paying off that house, paying it down. And one of the ways that we start looking at paying down that house is to look at every cost feature for that house and determine, can we do something different? So if you have mortgage life insurance that you're paying you don't even know what you're paying for it, by the way, $100 a month on it, and you could have your own life insurance at $40 a month, that creates $60 a month in savings that you can pay down on your mortgage. If you start doing some different things like add matching your groceries, one of your largest expenses is your grocery bill every single week. If we can cut $20 or $30 or $40 a week from your grocery or more by doing something called ad matching, and I can teach you that and guide you through that, then at the end of the day, that's 40 by 4 is 160 plus a $40 savings or a $60 savings in your life insurance. That's suddenly $220 a month. You're paying down your mortgage. You're getting ready for what's coming. Your renewal is coming. You cannot avoid your renewal. It's coming. But you can start doing some things differently in your life without taking an extra job right now to be able to start knocking down that mortgage as fast as you possibly can, because we have to get it down to $320 to keep the $1,750 payment. It's simple math at the end of the day. Maybe it's a little bit more complex math, but it's really pretty easy math at the end of the day. So those are the kinds of things that worry me. If they're starting to worry you, if you're starting to think ahead and you're starting to say, wait a second, I need to speak with somebody to be able to help me to understand some of these basic concepts. Stay watching this YouTube channel, like it, subscribe to it. There's going to be wonderful videos coming up about all of these specific topics. They're going to be broad-based as well too. Very simple, just to get you to start thinking and to start saying, wait a second, maybe I do need somebody to explain these things in a little different way. Maybe I do need to subscribe to this channel and watch from time to time to learn some new things. It's okay. I have just this really weird mind that understands finance stuff very, very easily. That's why I'm a financial advisor. So if you'd like to have a little bit more concerns or questions addressed on a personal one-to-one basis, the first appointment is always free. The second appointment has a little cost to it as well. But it is what it is. I got to make a living someplace, and that's what I do is I help people with thought processes around finance. One of the things that I do. So if you'd like to reach out and have a meeting or be able to subscribe to this channel, continue to keep watching, feel free. Start planning on that mortgage renewal coming due. You're going to have more monthly inflation come into your family when that mortgage rate adjusts. And the mortgage rate is going to adjust. It is a train wreck ready to happen here in Canada, and we have to prepare for it now, one at a time. It starts in your household. My household has that train wreck already all taken care of. You can too. Give me a jingle, 519-995-6145. Reach out through YouTube, anything you need to do. I'm here for you. Thanks so much.